My name is Scott Meyer. I'm an outside sales agronomist for Gerton's Wholesale and Turf Supply. A little bit about my background. Today I'm here with Brett Bermel, owner of Turf Care. Brett and I work together on a regular basis, building his fertilizer programs. Today we're doing a little cultural practices. My background is I have a turf and soil science degree from Rutgers State University. So it's fun to be able to work with customers like Brett who care, about what they're doing. We spend a lot of time structuring his programs, changing his programs with the weather, things that come up. So it's more than just applying one program over and over. We're always making changes. We're always working together. And that's what builds a good relationship and a good team together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we've been wanting to top dress for a couple of years, but really the only thing out there was a walk behind. And the biggest challenge for us was getting soil in the machine to make it efficient without having loaders or a skid steer or something and soil drop on the property. So this particular machine from Earth and Turf allowed us to do a few things. One, we could put the topsoil down like a normal top dresser, aerify, and seed. And so Scott and I have been talking about, he kind of comes from the golf course background, obviously, and they're always top dressing, and there's a huge advantage. But for really the residential homeowner, it's until now, as far as I'm concerned, until this machine, it really wasn't an option. So I had clients consistently ask me, "Hey, Brett, should we be overseeding?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we should overseed. And how about on this particular case, should we do some maybe black dirt?" And we're primarily a fertilization and weed prevention, fungicide, that type of service. And so they'd ask me on the black dirt side, how are we going to do that together? And do I do that? And I would say, well, no. Do you know anybody? And I know landscapers a lot of times will do it, but it requires bringing a big heavy skid steer in, driving that across the lawn, sprinkling this soil. It's a big project for a landscaper, and a lot of times they're on big projects. It's not as advantageous for them. So there's kind of a sweet spot in the middle for the right equipment to really be useful. So that's what we brought this machine in, and the trailer allows us to bring the product to the homeowner. One person can show up, top dress, seed, aerify, and kind of complete all those things in one pass.
More efficient, cleaner operation with the equipment that we have here.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit more about the benefits of the process?
Yeah.
Again, Brett mentioned that, with my golf course background, I was a top dressing fan. So what I try and do for Brett is try to bring more of those golf course practices, more cultural practices. Everybody out there is fertilizing and, spraying weeds. So what more can we do for the customer when they're running into problems? And in the case today, like this property, the lawn looks really good. But it is an older variety of turf grass species that are in here. So we're seeing a little bit of leaf spot and things like that. So the ability to be able to come in, punch holes, get some good compost material into the ground, but also to introduce some quality new varieties of Kentucky bluegrass seed will go a long ways in a situation like that. So just another point on the compost, we're doing some cool things down at Gerton's with the compost material. We're going to keep improving that, but we're adding some amendments where it's a very nice, clean compost, dark, rich, nutrient-rich material that we're spreading through here. So with this machine too, we have all kinds of options. We could do a renovation and we could apply some sand to smooth it out. We could put compost on top. So I think Brett's got a lot of different options that he could utilize with this setup.
Yeah, and where we're at, people joke when they get a load of sand or load of black dirt here in our area. Predominantly, it's kind of black sand because we just don't have that real rich farm type soil. So when you take a hold of this compost, and everybody that has looked at it, and it's pure organic material.
Mm-hmm.
It's versus, and we still could put down normal topsoil with it from our area, which there may be times, but in the testing we've already done, areas, plots where we've top dressed with it and without, or just normal fertilizer, the darkness and richness of the color is just it's amazing. And so if you want to get away from even a fertilizer app, you can literally do a
I was going to say,
compost.
that's our goal here, is to almost kind of mimic a fertilizer application here. That's our goal. So we're aerifying, we're top dressing with a nutrient rich. It is, in my opinion, almost as effective as a fertilizer application.
Yeah, and here in Minnesota, where we're at, we can't use a phosphorus-based fertilizer. I've even had guys, I've been in meetings and from the university, and I said, well, what about phosphorus or your organic fertilizer you buy at the store? And he put his head down and says, well, technically you can't even use that because it has phosphorus in it. So by just taking compost, literally organic material, and spreading it, you're getting about them, in my opinion, the most organic application of nutrients to the lawn.
So yeah, we're super excited about this method. It does cause a little bit. I did want to touch on, we are putting compost. It is going to leave a little bit of a mess. We're pulling plugs, as you'll see, with some of the videoage here. It is going to leave a mark, but it'll disappear once it gets water or rained on.
Yeah.
But it is going to cause a little bit of disruption of the surface, as it does on golf courses too. But the benefits are going to outweigh that. So
yeah, and this particular project we did this morning, it was heavy dew. Yeah. And then we waited. I did some application, and then we visited for about an hour and a half. The turf dried off, and then the remaining, the tracks aren't an issue. But honestly, the jobs that we've done, people are just glad to see that kind of organic material in their lawn, in the area that we're at. So same thing with aeration. You're pulling a core, it's going to dry out. You mow it a couple times. Irrigation, waters in, rain just rinses it back in. So.
Thanks again today for the opportunity to meet. Thanks to Turf Care for doing this demo and this footage, and also to Earth and Turf for coming along and building this video.